Welcome to Raw Perfect classes. Today's topic of is in this video wireless sensor network. Wireless sensor network means network of specially dispersed and dedicated sensors. These sensors used for monitoring and recording the physical situations of the environment. And these sensors forward the collected data to a main location that is known as central location, and wireless sensor networks is used for measurement of environmental conditions like temperature, sound, pollution levels, humidity and wind. These are similar to wireless ad hoc networks in the sense that they rely on wireless connectivity, and we can say that it is a formation of networks so that sensor data can be transported wirelessly. Wireless sensor network is also used to monitor physical or environmental conditions, for example temperature, sound, pressure, etc. Today networks are bidirectional, both collecting data and enabling control of sensor activities. By the development of these networks, it was motivated by military applications like battlefield surveillance, and these networks are used in industrial and consumer applications like industrial process monitoring, control, and machine health monitoring. Now, first of all, I will discuss these contents which I will be discuss in this video. First, I will discuss about introduction of wireless sensor network, then components of wireless sensor network, then what are the types of wireless sensor network and what applications of wireless sensor networks are used, and then I will discuss about challenges of wireless sensor network. Introduction of wireless sensor network. Before going to start introduction of wireless sensor network, you have to clear what is a network. A network is a combination of more than two people or things. And like this, computer network is also a combination of more than two computers, more than two nodes is called the computer networks. Computer networks are connected by cables or without cables. Here I will discuss about that network which is not connected by cables, that is known as wireless networks. And in wireless networks, they use the radio waves for the communication purpose between the different network nodes. They also allow the different nodes to be connected to the network when they are roaming around within the network coverage. Wireless sensor network is an infrastructureless wireless network which is deployed in a large number of wireless sensors in an ad hoc manner. Ad hoc manner means in a temporary way, and it is used to monitor the system physical or environmental conditions like temperature, humidity and wind, etc. And these sensor nodes also used in wireless sensor network with the onboard processor. And we can say that wireless sensor network also manages and monitor the environment in a particular area. And we can say that these are in this wireless sensor network, the sensor nodes are connected to the base station, and which acts like a processing unit in the wireless sensor network system. And we can say that base station in wireless sensor network is connected through the internet to sharing their data. And wireless sensor network can be used for processing, analysis and storage and mining of the data. Now these are the components of wireless sensor network. First, sensor node, second relay node, then actor node, cluster head, gateway and base station. Now first component is sensor nodes. Sensor nodes in wireless sensor network used for measurement of the environmental conditions, environmental parameters, and also used for transmission for the data back to a network gate where it is aggregated, where it is collected and then stored and then processed. It is a node in a sensor network which is capable of performing some processing, gathering, sensing informations, and that information is used for communication purpose with other connected nodes in a network. And we can say that it is a combination of sensing, processing and communication. Second point is relay node. Because relay nodes reduces the transmission distance between the different nodes and base station, and relay nodes which are used for sending and receiving informations, and relay nodes which are used with multi-hop techniques for reducing the distance between different nodes and base stations. If distance reduces, then energy consumption also reduces. That's why we use the relay node in the wireless sensor network. And in wireless sensor network, relay nodes also share the burden of the sensor nodes, and they provide the energy efficient data gathering, and it also increase the network lifetime for the wireless sensor network. And these in this number of sensor nodes which are closely deployed, and with minimum number of relayed nodes are deployed in between the sensor nodes in wireless sensor networks. Now next point is actor node. Actor node is that node which is responsible for taking the prompt decision and react accordingly demand. In order to provide effective sensing and acting, a distributed local coordinations mechanism is used, is compulsory among these sensors and actors. Next point is cluster head. Cluster heads means though cluster head is just like a cluster supervisor. In this in the wireless sensor network, nodes are organized into clusters means groups, and each of group we select a cluster head. The rest of the nodes become the cluster members. To make the clusters, to form the clusters, all nodes they transmit a packet directly to the base station, directly to the sync node, and then continue to transmit that packet until it's received successfully. And it also involves grouping of sensor nodes into clusters, and after that they electing the cluster heads for all the clusters. Cluster heads collect the information from the respective cluster nodes, the respective neighboring nodes, and forward that collected information to base station. And in wireless sensor network, the major challenge is to select the appropriate cluster heads. And for selecting the cluster heads, we have to keep in mind we should be select that cluster head which have the minimum distance and maximum energy, maximum average remaining energy. That node will be select as a cluster head. And next point is gateway. Gateway devices allow the data communication between main plant, data network and wireless field devices, and it also enable the application level to access to these field devices from central monitoring station. And gateways devices also used as a protocol converter, as a command and demand forwarder, and it also can be used as a security manager, synchronizer in the network. In this implementation, we can say that Ethernet gateway has been designed to collect the information, collect the data from wireless sensor network and then connect to the existing Ethernet network. And secondly, we can say that gateway is used for converting the information, is used for the data for the data communication from one protocol and to other formatting to other format. And a router is the best example for because a router is work like a gateway, An internet gateway which can be used for transfer the communication between an enterprise network and the internet. Now, what is the base station? A base station is also a component, main component of the wireless sensor network, because base station serve as a central connection point, a main connection point for the wireless device for the communication purpose. Because the base station is that node which receives the information, which receive the data from the cluster heads, and that information it further forward to the gateway, and then gateway decides that information will be will be going for the further processing purpose, for mining, for analysis purpose. It will be decided by the gateway, and it further connects the device to other networks or devices. It also usually through the dedicated high bandwidth wire or fiber optic connections. Next point is, what are the types of wireless sensor network? There are many different types of wireless sensor network, but in this video I will discuss only three types of wireless sensor network, that is the wireless local area network, wireless metropolitan area network, and wireless wide area network. Now first is the wireless local area network. This network will be established in between only one lab, and it will be established in one building. We can say that this network will be established within the limited area, that is called the wireless sensor network, wireless local area network. Here we can see the in figure there are different types of different types of computers which are connected with each other through the wireless media, and in at a one place, that is called the wireless local area network. For example, you can say lab in the schools, and lab in the any institute, in any college, that is called the wireless local area network. For the communication purpose, that network is used, and they share the common sources like printers, scanner, etc. Next is a wireless metropolitan area network. In this we can say that different different wireless LANs are connected with the base stations for the communication purpose. For example, if we want to communicate with the one city to other city, then we use the wireless metropolitan area network. And next is the wireless wide area network. This network is used in a wide area, means from one country to other country. If we want to communicate with each other, then we use the wireless wide area network. Best example is internet. We can communicate with any one person who will be out of the India. That will be we can be communicate with through the internet. This is the example of wireless wide area network. And these are the applications of wireless sensor network in which we use wireless sensor network. Today, in many applications in which we use the wireless sensor network, for example, if we in military applications, we use the wireless sensor network for the detecting the enemies, and for keep the watching on the enemies enemies happenings, what are the doing enemies, what are the what they will be take the action next. And in health applications, we can say that in health application, these health applications are used in the hospitals for monitoring the patients, for monitoring the patients, and they are for tracking their diseases, and for diagnosis diagnosis of their diseases. And in environment applications, we can say that the wireless sensor network are used for environmental for tracking the environmental conditions like temperature, humidity, air, air or vibration, etc. In home applications also we use the wireless sensor network. In home applications we can say that we use the ACs, in which we can control the AC by through the sensors. In televisions we can also control the television by the sensors. There are so many applications in which we use the wireless sensor network. We can control them through the sensors. We can also use the security purpose web cameras. They can be connected with your mobiles. For the mobiles you can sense, you can keep the watching on your home through your mobiles, or that mobile will be connected with your web cameras, etc. In commercial applications, wireless sensor network are also used for the tracking the machinery, for tracking the work of the employees, and in area monitoring applications also used the wireless sensor network. There are so many other areas where we use the wireless sensor network for monitoring the air pollutions, for detecting forest fire, for detecting landslides, water quality, for monitoring the water quality, for monitoring industrial applications. We use the wireless sensor network. Due to increase of the wireless sensor network, we have to face we can say that the wireless sensor network have faces many challenges, because the sensor nodes which are lie on the battery, and battery's life is too small. It cannot be recharged or replaced at some places where we install the sensor nodes. For example, if we install sensor nodes in the undergrounds, in underwater, then we cannot be easily recharge them, and we cannot be easily replace. That's why you can say that this is the main challenge of the wireless sensor network. We can say that hardware design for sensor nodes, it also considered as a challenge. And to achieve the synchronization between the nodes, it's another issues. And node failure, topology changes, quality of service, security issue, energy efficient, network throughput, performance, and adding of nodes and deleting of the nodes. These are all other and challenges, issues which are facing by the wireless sensor network. There are more, these are not end of the challenges of wireless sensor network, because due to increase of the wireless sensor network in our daily lives, challenges are facing by the wireless sensor network. Thank you. If you like my video, please like and share my channel for next videos.